Today I'm gonna share with you how I got from here to here. Let's go big screen. Let's reset all the edit. And that's the shot I got straight out of camera. So it's a 16 to 9 or 9 to 16 shot on my APS-C Nikon using tripod. I made this shot at 210 millimeters using my telelens f16 to have a lot of sharpness despite a different depth of the branches in here. And what I intended to do is to have a shot with this S-shaped white branch leading into the frame. And as always, I edit my shots in the first place for Instagram and social media. So let's go directly into that. To have shot cropped for social media, you will use either 1:1 or 4:5 equaling 8:10. And as saying before, what I wanted to have is mainly that tree, the darker tree in the middle, separating the frame into two parts, and then having this white branch, S-shaped branch leading into the frame, leading the viewer's eye into the frame. So let's keep the darker one right in the middle and the white one leading from here to here. Press enter. That's what you get. There will still remain some tree, additional tree here in the lower right corner. If you don't like that, you easily can remove it by either by extending the frame here in Photoshop later on, or by maybe darkening this area. However, for today I'm gonna keep it here. First of all, I added the temperature a little bit. I wanted to keep those cool tones. It was a cloudy day with some overcast sky. I usually tend to add tint, nice wording, tint, but in this case I diminished it by -4. What I almost always do is to reduce the exposure. Right here I went down to -0.31, and to give the whole photo punch you may increase the whites. You see what happens? By using the whites you will add a lot of punch to the photo, but don't overdo it because this will happen. You will lose a lot of information in the whites in here. However, to keep or to restore that information, you may lower the highlight slider. So you will add whites to every single part of the shot, but by using the highlights you may restore information in this very bright parts of your shot. And then finally, in the basic adjustments, I just lowered the blacks down to -50 approximately, to have a lot of darkness, a lot of mood in here. I almost never touch texture or clarity. To have a more moody view, a moody shot, I wanted to have the shot much more like monochrome without a lot of color, so I reduced the vibrance. Again, and when coming to the tone curve, if usually editing the tone curve, you may increase the lights and lower the darks to have a S-shaped curve. However, in this case, in order to keep the information in those bright white areas, you may not touch lights or highlights. You may just decrease the darks a little bit again to have overall darkness in the shot to make this white branch pop out much more. However, by darkening again, you will lose some of the information in those very dark areas. Therefore, just increase the shadows. You see what it does? It increases the information in your dark areas. It will increase the information only or also on this central tree, which is good. Again, I want to have it more monochrome, so there is some greens left here which may be distracting in this shot. Went down to -50, and as you can see, it is getting more and more earth tones, brown, green, gray look, very moody, very minimalistic, which right here I like very much. Now you will want to add some sharpening. I think something around 70 to 80 will be okay. Never please overdo the sharpening because it will turn out like this. See, before, after. And what you add by sharpening everything, you will add a lot of noise, mainly also in those areas with little texture right here in the background. So we may keep the sharpening at 77 kind of, increase the radius a little bit to have more texture sharpened. By pressing Alt and moving the masking slider, you will select what you want to sharpen. The white areas are those will be sharpened. I think kind of this. However, there will still remain some noise in the areas, especially seen in those areas where you don't have a lot of texture. So you will move the noise slider up a bit from here to, I think, 20, 21 will be okay. So, right. Then you will have some false colors right here. You see this red, brownish thing. I don't know what exactly this is. By moving the color noise reduction slider up to 100, which I almost always do, you will get rid of those false color information within the shot. And finally, what almost always happens in those areas where you have a strong contrast between white and dark, you will have color fringing, or let's call it chromatic aberration. And therefore I suggest to always remove chromatic aberration. You see what it does? It removes this color fringing, which if you forget about it and then try to do a large print, it would be really a pity because it ruins your shot. So with that done, just the final adjustments, go down to the blue primer saturation, which many photographers use to give a color punch to the shot. And as you can see, if I increase it, it just adds color in a settled way without overdoing it. In this case, again, I wanted to decrease it to have this more monochrome earth tone like look. And that's the final result. So I hope you enjoyed to see how I edit, and please stay tuned and visit my channel again for future videos. Thank you for watching.